About something different, we talk about sustainability, especially ESG, actual electric motors. So we are number 1 in Taiwan and we are top 5 globally. Okay. And TECO is selected as one of the members of Dow Jones Sustainability Index. So today we talk about ESG from Dow Jones' point of view. Okay, so let me introduce TECO. We are about 70 years old already. And from the beginning, we make motors by hands. But not long after the opening of TECO, there was a big flood in Taiwan. And after the water goes, only TECO motor runs. So from that day until today, we are number 1 in market share. This is our factory right now, so we make motors automatically with all the production lines. We build this in Taiwan, in China, in Vietnam, now in Mexico, and later we'll be build it in India. So we are going to find supply chains all over the world. After Industrial Revolution, mankind has 2 sources of power for industrial power. One is engine, is fossil fuel, right? One is electric motor, that is electricity. Actually, 1/3 of our total electricity is consumed by motor to drive our daily lives. So TECO's given job is to keep upgrading the motor's efficiency and its performance and help our customers to upgrade. So a little bit like Intel, but in different industry, right? Okay. But unfortunately, today, only 27% of motor running is high efficiency. Most of the motor is still in low efficiency, so we are driving the market to change. So that is the given job of TECO. So we started from Taiwan and Southeast Asia, and now in China, and now we building Mexico factory. We opened the Mexico factory this October, and we are going to open the India factory later this August in Mexico factory. So we have a new production line there. But the one thing that really surprised me is, you look at these pictures. These girls are Mexican girls. They don't really speak English. They're from financial and logistics department. But after I take this picture, everybody takes their iPhone and say airdrop, airdrop, airdrop. You know, I'm so surprised that iPhone is now an international language. Never underestimate the capability of using new technology for these young people. They have airdrop while we're still copying files through USB disks. So they can do it more efficiently and internationally than we. This is our ESG performance of TECO. So on the left-hand side, that's Morgan Stanley system. So you can see our ratings coming up. And right-hand side is Dow Jones and S&P systems. So these 2 systems share the same database, so the ranking is pretty similar. Just Dow Jones covers 3,000 major players, and the S&P covers 20,000. That covers a lot more. So this is our ranking in Dow Jones. We are in between of ABB and the DuPont. I'm asked by my European friends that never pronounce the French brand in English, so I hope I pronounce it right. Can anybody give me a full picture of what ESG is and how important they are? So this is the items that Dow Jones Index very specifically want a company to answer. I also put the weight there, so that is weight from manufacturing industry. So you can see the items I put in red is the important items that regarding to ESG. From the environment point of view, climate change, that is how you manage your emission. We'll talk about that later. And product stewardship is the product life cycle management. How do you design your product to reduce the impact to the environment and how you recycle those materials? That's product stewardship. In social aspect, it is a little bit different than what we thought it is. First thing that comes to our mind is that we make donation to people in need. We go to beach to clean the garbage, pick up plastic waste to protect ocean lives. But today the performance index has changed. We want to know how you take care of your employees and among your supply chains. We want to know how you keep them safe from dangerous working place. So that is the key performance right now. And for governance, the first one is of course the performance of your board meeting and business ethics. You have to teach your employee what they should do and what they should not do, like a school teacher. Okay? and also supply chain innovation. So that is the most important things, Dow Jones things that companies should follow to practice ESG. Three new items. Some may be new to you, and some may be change your understanding to ESG. Okay, so let's start from the right-hand side. Okay, taxonomy. Frankly speaking, I don't know this word until last year because they don't teach this in high school. Right? What taxonomy is? Today, investor wants to ask one very simple question, but it's very difficult to answer. The question is, please tell me how sustainable your company is in percentage. That's taxonomy. EU has already released guidelines to help you to categorize your product and your business activities. For example, we have motor, we have home appliance, and we have engineering projects. So we categorize it. Now 76 of motor we sell is in high efficiency. Now about 65% of home appliance we have Energy One and water saving certificates. And the engineering projects, we pick the project that is highly related to climate change, mitigation, and adaptation. So wind power, solar powers, power grid resilience projects, and green buildings. We can show how sustainable we are scientifically to our investors. Okay, DEI, that is diversity, equality, and inclusion. Okay, that's for social aspect. Okay. What is DEI? Okay. Not like foreign country. In Taiwan, we don't have a lot of problems on races or religions. So we focus on gender and migrant workers in Taiwan. Okay. For genders, diversity, how many female employees you have in your company? So okay, we have 40% female, we are very diverse. But think about, how about in your top management, your CEO, CFO, business heads, your board members, do you still have 40%? If not, then that is a gap to DEI practice. Second, for the migrant workers, please follow my question and find out your gap for migrant workers. First, do you have migrant workers in your factory? Okay, yeah, we have 20 people from Thailand. Okay, so you have migrant worker. Second question is, do you hire them individually as your full-time employee, or you hire them all together through one agent? This is the second question. Third one, how about passport? Do every one of them host their own passport, or you lock all passport in management's office? That is your equality, right? Inclusion. Okay. In your factory, you have employee manual, right? You have SOP. You teach them how to do their daily jobs. Do you have that in Thai language? That is the performance of inclusion. How many of you pass all these questions? If you do, then congratulations, you are DEI certificate. but I don't think a lot of people can do. Okay. Finally, let's talk about the carbon. Everybody knows that we have to do net zero in 2050. But 2050 is way too long. Most of us will not see 2050, right? So what really matters is what you do in this decade. So until 2030, what your company is going to do to reduce your emission. It's a very heavy slide. I'm not going to go through it, but I want to show you some basic ideas. So do you know how to calculate emission numbers? They don't teach this in high school also. So we do it through the greenhouse gas inventory study. The left-hand side, you have energy that you use in your factory or your company. You use natural gas, you use diesel gasolines. So you collect those numbers, and there's a table that can calculate all your emissions. And also the electricity. So how much electricity you buy from outside, that also counts your emission. And this is followed by ISO standard. So now it is very clear and very easy to follow. Actually, Taiwanese government is asking all listed companies to finish this in coming years. Not only your own company, but also your subsidiaries. You want to know the total emission in Taiwan. But it doesn't stop here. There's more. It said you have to disclose your financial impact from climate change. So it is, what is weather and money? How do you connect weather and money? It's use the scenario to tell our stories. For example, what if the EU start to charge carbon border tax from tomorrow? What will be your impact? What is your potential cost? Oh, I don't sell product to Europe, I'm safe. No. How about your customer? They sell product to Europe, right? So they're going to charge back the cost to you. That is one scenario. Second one, maybe from weather. Okay, if the water stops for 3 days, can you still keep your factory running? If not, well, maybe I have to buy water truck. I have to 10 water truck to bring water from somewhere else to my factory. So that is your cost. That is your financial. Today, actually, everybody tells good stories, but there's still one problem. It is not compatible between companies because everybody uses different scenarios, right? Who worries most if it is not compatible? The banks, right? Because the banks are also asked to evaluate your ESG performance before they issue their loans. They have to calculate the interest based on your ESG performance. The Europe central banks takes the lead to integrate all scenario into 6 different mathematics models. From this scenario, this is the best scenario and the worst scenario. So the worst scenario is the temperature is going to up 3 degrees if we do nothing. Best thing we do, if we can reach the target of carbon neutral in 2050, the temperature still rise. But this 1.4 degree give us an opportunity to reverse in the future. This is the final conclusion of their report. Okay, I did some in Chinese, so for everybody can understand more. Okay. So on the right-hand side, the orange is the disaster we're going to face if the temperature rise for 3 degrees. 10% of our productivity in Asia will be gone. It's too hot, it cannot work. Okay. The river in India are going to flood 3 times more than today. North America, they are going to have hurricane hits 47% more than today. And most important is our total GDP is going to drop by 2 percentage points. You know, in Taiwan, we only growth rate is only 3%, right? If we use 2% to rescue, to rebuild our city, then it's a waste of our life. Use renewable energy. We have to electrify our transportation industry and the buildings. Okay, so there are a lot of things. Okay, for example, carbon removal. We have to capture CO2 from the air and put it underground. There's a lot to do, but I guess most of you, just like me, we don't really understand how to do it. But don't worry, there's still one thing that you can do. That one thing is carbon credit trading mechanism. We are going to push from next year. So in Taiwan, all the law, we have climate change adaptation law, and there are 5 sub-laws. This all released earlier this month in October. So from next year, government is going to push this hard to everybody. Whether you like it or not, you're already in this game. Okay, so there are 2 platforms that we can trade carbon credit. One is for electricity, and one is for the carbon credit. It's where the carbon credit comes from. For example, I have all equipment that emission this much every year. But this year I want to make a change. I do investment, so it reduce the emission by half. So right now I have half emission from this year to until next year to the future. So the gap is carbon credit. So I can ask for those carbon credit from the government. So that will be my property. Carbon has its price now. Serious? We've got to find a place for it in our financial report. Okay, so yeah, we charge them for the emission, but also we add it back if they have carbon credits. So that is how we are going to manage our business. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Actually, I like you.